Richard here, and I thought I would just give a little introduction to the Headless Way. And really, the question is, who am I? What am I? And I hope this time that we're kind of spending together, I have a sense of you there, you can see me here. I hope this time is just a relaxed kind of meditation on who we really are. And this is the headless approach to seeing who you really are. And what I like to do, I think I'll do that now, is just to go first of all straight for the experience, which is all about you. This is about you, who you really are. And I'd like you to notice that you're not what you look like. I'd like you to notice something very simple about yourself, that you can't see your own face right where you are now. You can see it in the mirror, other people can see it, but you can't see it right where you are. The place you're looking out of is the place that we are attending to over this next period. And so I'm going to start visually, and we'll look at the different senses. This is really taking a fresh look here and now in this moment about what it's like to be you. And are you just what you look like? Are you just the one in the mirror? Or, as the great traditions indicate, are you also something incredible? Your true self, which has no boundaries, which contains everything. And there's only one who can verify whether that's true or not for you, and that's you. And so these little experiments that we're going to be doing together, I hope, are for directing our attention back to what it's like to be. And we'll start visually, and we'll look at through the other senses and give it a little bit of a context as well. So first of all, I'd like you to hold your hands out in front of you like this, and notice your hands. So this is an experiment. So you're on your own, so you don't have to feel embarrassed. And notice your hands, and there's a gap between your hands and then I can fit the tree outside the window between my hands. So then I'd like you to slowly look. This is attention to what it's like from your point of view. Slowly bring them back past your head like this. Notice that your hands get bigger, and then your fingers disappear, and your hands disappear into the great void. And then bring them slowly forwards, like you're a child, 5 years old, and watch these huge hands, as big as the world, come out of nothing and then get smaller. Now, this is obviously the difference between the inside and the outside, because you can see me on the screen, and my hands go past my head, and I can see me on the screen doing that. But my first-person experience is different. And this is the difference between what you look like from the distance. If I was standing in front of you now, I'd see your face from a few feet away. So the difference between that, what you are publicly, and what you are privately, which is, in my experience, is wide open space full of everything. Now, I'm going to put it briefly in a couple of contexts, and then I'm going to do some more experiments. But first, let me just say that this experience is non-verbal. You can't see your head. Instead, you see the world. All right, you see a bit of your nose. Look at your nose. My nose isn't attached to a face for me. It's coming out of nowhere. And you cannot miss this experience because you can't see your face. You can't see your head. And that is the essential experience. Instead of your head, you see the world. And you've got the experience whether or not it means anything to you. It might mean a lot, or it might, in this moment, mean very little. That's your response to this experience. See? So I'm just confirming and affirming and encouraging the fact that you've got the experience, and you can't not, but what it means to you is where we're all different. So very briefly, the great traditions, there's great spiritual teachers, mystics down the ages. I would say that their essential message is who you really are is just fantastic. Who you really are is fantastic. But most of us are not aware of it. We're aware of the one in the mirror, and we identify with the one in the mirror. And they tell us that who we really are has no boundaries. Everything's within you. You were never born. You'll never die. You're infinitely rich. You're very, very lucky is who you really are. But if you don't kind of wake up to this, you're kind of living in a dream and you're missing out on something fantastic. And so what we're doing in this short meeting is checking out, see whether those spiritual teachers, mystics, were right. I'm not asking anyone to believe what they said. I'm asking you to test it for yourself. And for example, here's another little experiment. Point out at something. This is the Poynting Experiment. World famous. You direct your attention with your finger, because you don't find the treasure of all treasures by thinking, you find it by looking. Point at something in front of you and look at what you're pointing at. It's a color. It's got color and shape. Point at something else. It's got color and shape. How simple is this? Point at your torso. You can see color and shape. Now, point back at where you're looking out of, where others see your face, and don't look at me, look at your finger. Do you see your face there? How could you? Do you see any color there? I don't. Any shape? You've got to do it, and you've just got to look, you see. Any movement? No. Empty. This is a non-verbal experience, but in words I'm saying it's empty. There's nothing here. No face, no movement. Now, what I want you to do is point with the other hand out. So you have to do this. And this indicates that this empty space at center isn't just empty, it's also full. And it's full of, for me, a beautiful spring evening and the sun shine on the leaves. And it's full of my voice, and it's full of thoughts and feelings. It's a richly filled emptiness. So that's the experience again. Now here's another context, which is going to be helped by this model that Douglas Harding made. And this indicates that what things are, concentrate, what things are depends partly on where the observer is looking from. So through the camera, you're looking at me from 2 feet away through the camera. You see I'm a person, you see. So you say, Richard, you're a person. I say, that's because you're there. If you came up to me, you'd get a patch of skin. And if you came up to me closer, you would get cells. See? So this indicates these are layers of your body. And what you look like at a few feet is a person. See, that far away from your center. This is science. And if I come up to you, then I don't see a person anymore, I see cells. And if I come up to the cell, I see molecules. So it's like peeling an onion, coming in towards the center till you get particles. Or going away, I mean, it's very inspiring this. Going away, then you see maybe the city you live in, and further away your planetary body, further away your galactic body, and finally that's your galactic body, your solar body there. So these are layers like an onion. And what you are depends on where the observer is. And we identify with all these layers. I identify with being Richard, and then maybe with my city or my country, or then just an ache in my shoulder. So all day long, we expand and contract. Now the question, so it's one system, one living system, fantastic. Now the question is, who or what, the question I'm asking, who or what is at the center of all these layers? Well, I can tell you what you look like from a few feet, or potentially from even closer. But I can't tell you what you are right there at center because I can't get there. I'm in a good position to report back to you on all these layers of you, all of which you need, but I can't go there. Well, I can here, you see. And so what we're doing is, instead of speculating or debating, we're taking a fresh look at what it's like at the center. And this is necessarily, in a way, a private experience, because no one else is right there. So again, I'd like you just to point back at the place you're looking out of. See, this is the center, and you're in a perfect position to see that you are what you are there, see. Now you describe it in your own way, see? But you are it, that's what you are. But you're not just what you look like, see. As what I am, I look like Richard, or a country, or a planet, or a star, or a cell. I need every one of these layers to sit here and breathe. I need my atmosphere, my lungs, you see, my sunlight, my cells. Who or what is at the center of all these layers? And all the great mystics say, who is at the center is just amazing. Can't define it, but you are it. And you're in a perfect position to be aware of it. So, if you look at my face now, then you can see the features in my face and the movement there. And notice, from your point of view, that you don't see your own face. And this is a non-verbal experience, but in words I say we are face to no face. Face there on the screen to no face where you are. This is not face to face, this is face to no face. Everyone's face that I look at is my own, I would say. I'm built open for others. I'm not in conflict in this basic way. I am capacity for you. I'm empty for you. This is namaste. See, I am you. Face to no face. I'm incredibly precise and clear and available and meaningful, really. You're built open for everyone you meet. You are everyone you meet, you could say. You don't have to think it. Be aware of it. So, if you have any questions, do put them in the Q&A. But I'm going to just ask you to do a few more experiments. The experiments are for testing the idea that you are not what you look like. See? And you see, I can't really get you to look in the mirror unless you've got one, but people say, well, I can't see my face here, but I can see it in the mirror. Well, your mirror, you see, you have to hold at a distance to see your face. And I can see my face there. I don't see it here, I see it there. And my mirror is telling me, you see, where my face is. It's out there on the screen and about the same distance away in the mirror or in the camera. It's all around me, but it's not here. Here at the center of my world, I'm clear. Everyone is. You are. And your mirror is your friend, because your mirror is telling you this is where your face is. So I'm going to put it in another context, and then we'll do another little experiment, maybe with eyes closed or something like that. And I am hoping that you are paying attention to you. I'd like you actually to notice something now about the place you're looking out of. Another visual thing. It's the easiest to communicate. Notice, well, you can do this. Make two holes, like glasses. See how simple this is? You have to go back to basics. You see two holes, so hold them out. And there's a dividing line. And I want you to notice what happens to the divine line when you put these on, like putting on glasses, you see. So you've got to look at your own hands. Now watch what happens. The two become one. Magic. Now obviously mine on the screen don't. There's only one place where the two become one, and that's where you are. So we call this the single eye. Now I'd like you to just be aware of that. I mean, you're built open. Absolutely clear, single, open. And in this openness is your view of the world. Now take a look at your view of the world. It's most in focus at the center of the field of view, and it fades out towards the edge all the way around, and then it disappears. So in my own experience, this view that I'm looking at fades out all the way around and is just suspended in consciousness. I mean, there you are. There's the view, the single view. And if you look at my face on the screen, you'll see it's got a boundary, and there's an environment all the way around it, a background. It's inside the room. But when I look here, I don't find, not only my head, I don't see an outline or a background. I just find the view. And this view isn't inside anything. It's got no background. Like a picture, the world, a picture hanging in nothing. So I'm hoping you're hanging on in there. Let me know. Send a question in or a comment in the Q&A. Let me know you're there. So this is all very good news. And I'd like you to notice something else about this, your experience now, which is just one view. Anything you look at, you can see it next to something else. My head is next to the chair. John is there. Oh, good. Paying attention. It's so simple, you see. I have no doubt that you're aware of this openness where you are. It's going to mean something different to you from me. Your reaction about it now is unique to you. But what we're reacting to is nothing full of something. It's just our common nature. All right, so you look at my head and it's separate from the chair. There's two things, and one is next to the other. And you say, from this perspective, my head is bigger than the chair, or my hand is bigger than the chair. You can compare two things for size. Now look at the single eye, the one view. How big is it? Well, there isn't a second one on the left or the right, is there, to compare it with? It's single, alone, one. You hear about the other single eyes, you hear about mine, but you don't experience it. You only experience yours. All right, so here's where I'm going to ask you to close your eyes for just a very short time. I've got a few questions here, all right? This is interruption. I agree what you're saying is true, but you can say something about why it's important. Okay, I'll say why it's important. Okay, and is my view of the world the actual world, or is there anything else out there producing this view? Well, you see, these questions are important, and but let me just say, you've got the experience, and there are many different ways of thinking about this. And I might have one response this hour and another one next hour, and you'll have a different one. And that's brilliant, because what we can be sure of is we've got the experience. It's neutral, and it's not about understanding or feeling, but you will be thinking and feeling something about it, which will be changing and be different from me. Yeah. So we will come, that's marvelous, marvelous. And Bill, I'll come back to yours in a minute. And okay. So I want you just to be conscious that you only got one view. And this is really what I think all the great teachers are talking about when they talk about the alone. That you only experience your own consciousness, which isn't mine personally. It's got everything in it. See? So, eyes open, be aware of the single eye, fading out, single, not inside anything bigger. See? Not inside anything. Hanging there in space, in consciousness. Now close your eyes and you'll experience the darkness. How big is that darkness? Well, there isn't a second one to compare it with. And it's just sort of hanging in nothing. You know, does it have a clear boundary? Now open your eyes. The view out changes. I see the colors and shapes of the room and out the window, but the nothing doesn't change. Nothing is always full of something, but what it's full of changes. Close your eyes again. The room's gone and you've got the darkness again. Now be aware of sounds. Some are loud, some are soft. They're changing. But how big is the whole field of sound? Well, there isn't a second to compare it with. Just one field of sound in the space. Open your eyes. This is, this is not rocket science. This is 5-year-old stuff or 3-year-old stuff. See, the sounds are all happening in this silence. The same place that the room is happening. One field of sound. Close your eyes. Be aware of your body sensations. Lots of sensations going on. Some strong, some weak. Some you like, some you don't, I suppose. But how big is that field of sensation? Not from memory, not from what you remember seeing in the mirror, but now. Well, there isn't a second to compare it with. And again, it's kind of hanging there in nothing. I can't say how big this field of sensation is, but I can't say how big I am. I identify with these sensations. Now open your eyes. How big are you? See? Not how big are you in the mirror, or what others tell you, or what you are from a distance. How big are you privately? Not really asking for an answer in words. See, it's just keeping our attention on being. Johnny Little, hello. All right, I'm going to just pause for a moment, catch my breath, and look at some questions. Wondering about personal responsibility and this openness. Many in spirituality say things like, there's one here, there's no one here, maybe. Well, I don't know anything. Okay. A balance, yes. Yes, I will chat about that. Just a couple of more things with this experience, and then I'll say something in response to Bill, probably. Single eye, single field of sound, single field of sensation, happening in the nothing. Close your eyes again. Be aware of your thoughts and feelings, your reactions. They're changing, complicated. Quite a lot, most of it is unpredictable, probably. Memories, images. Now, how big is that whole field of thinking and feeling? Well, how on earth can one say? Where is it, you see, on present evidence? Certainly isn't a second field to compare it with. Aren't those thoughts and feelings coming and going in the nothing? Now open your eyes. Still, they're coming and going. Do they disturb the nothing where you are? No. Do they leave any trace in the nothing? No. Hasn't it always been like this? Surely. This is your true nature. Now, Bill asked about why it is important. Well, just a very brief thought about that. Consider your development in your life. When you were a baby, pre-verbal, you have no idea of what you look like. Headless, at large, space for the world. Wide open, infectiously open, you see. Just not self-conscious, just looking. You started like that, open. You didn't have the words for it like I'm putting on them now, but putting on it now. From day one, people reflecting back what you look like. See, and growing up towards childhood is becoming increasingly aware of what you look like. You identify with the one in the mirror. You're taught to take that appearance and put it on. Taught to get in this box, to identify with what others tell you are. See? And no one gives any value to your own experience, which is headless. So as a child, you're working out which box you're in. Am I a boy or a girl? You know, what nationality? What am I good at? Where do I live? See, and that's fantastic. Fantastic. This answers your question a bit, Johnny, I think, because it's absolutely vital for you to find out who you are in the world. And by the time you're an adult, you totally identify with the one in the mirror. And the baby is infectiously open and gives everyone permission to be open. The child says, I'm trying to find out who I am. Do you want to play with me at being a lion or a tiger or an airplane, you see? The adult is saying, I know who I am. I'm in this box. And therefore, I know you're in that box, you see. And we're face to face. And we're separate. See? Very good. Now growing up is about finding out which box you're in, taking responsibility for it, and doing the best with the cards you were dealt. So then we think, oh, I suppose that was it. That was life. Life was, that's as good as it gets. Life was finding out who you are as a person and being that person. But it's not necessarily the end of the journey. I hope it's not the end of your journey, because there's another stage. So baby, child, adult, seer. And this is what we are enjoying now, is bringing our attention back to this openness, the baby's openness, but now having made that journey, see. So I'm now aware of the openness that I've always been, but I'm at the same time self-conscious. And I'm aware of being Richard. See? So I've now got a kind of double identity. I am Richard in the world, and privately I'm space for the world. Now here's a kind of valuable thing about it, because now when I'm with others, like I'm with you now, I know the two sides of you. I know a bit about you, who you are as a person. See, the public you. But I also know about the private you, because you're this openness full of everything. So now my relationships with others, take a turn for the better, in the sense I discover that we are the same one at heart, the same one, with a different view out. Now, does waking up to being the one, is it therapeutic? Well, how could it not be? You're discovering you're never born, you'll never die, that everything's within you. You're not a thing up against the world, you see. So this is, how could that not affect you if you kind of take it to heart and practice it and be aware of it? So, again, the experience is non-verbal and neutral. You can't see your head. You can't hear anything here. You can't feel anything right at the center. You're empty for all those feelings and thoughts and so on. So you've got the experience, and the valuable thing about doing a workshop, by the way, is that you meet others. Or in our online meetings. If you haven't been to our online video meetings, it's just fantastic, because you'll meet others who are living from this openness. But everyone's got a different reaction. And very quickly you realize that someone is up one day and down the next. And this is natural. Everyone's feelings are changing. And there isn't a kind of enlightened state. I'm going to get into trouble now. No. All right. The Heart Sutra says, this is Chuck Andrews, emptiness is form, form is emptiness. And my answer is, a good way of putting it, they got it right. So we don't go to the script. I don't go to the scriptures to find out if my experience is right. I go to the scriptures to see if they got it right. Because you can't get this wrong. So, meditation, being aware of your single eye, being aware of your view out from the nothingness now, being aware of your changing reactions to it. This nothingness, this emptiness, is nearer to you than your breathing. And what is nearer to you than your breathing right now is nearer to me than my breathing. No distance. No distance. I mean, fantastic thing about internet. It means many can be together in the one space. Eric, what is the importance of daily practice? Some say we can't practice non-duality. Well, you see, the thing is, you've got the experience and you can think about this in different ways. And because you've got the experience, you're not dependent on words. You've got the non-verbal experience now. You're seeing, you're hearing, two-way. See? So then we don't have to get hung up on whether there's a self or isn't a self, or whether you're doing something or not doing something, or whether you practice or not. There's value in each way of thinking about it. So say, well, I am practicing. I'm practicing now. I'm doing it now. It's important to do it. And the next, minute you're saying, but of course you don't do anything. You can't practice this. These are just different ways of thinking about it. And to reject one way of thinking about it in favor of another is dogmatic and fundamentalist, really. And your true nature is not dogmatic. It's not a dogma. It's not an idea. It's your being. You've got it. So this frees you to use language flexibly and poetically even. Yeah. See, so you're the authority on it. You say how it is, you see. Okay. Eric, thank you. Thank you, you see. And, I hope some of you do drop into our online video meetings. And if you'll find a way to them via the website, and you'll get in touch with me and I'll send you links. But really, it's just hanging out with others who are living from this. And there isn't anybody telling you what's what, because you're what is what. And seeing who you really are is fundamentally non-hierarchical, because you've got it. You've got the experience. You might not. I'm sure you don't have the same reaction to it as me. I hope you don't. Be yourself, which you are doing. Meredith, waking up to being the one feels liberating when I am with others who understand. But convention in the world doesn't see that. So it's lonely to me when I encounter others who grip onto identity and convention. The workshops are great, but then we go to the world. Is that lonely for you? Well, come and join us in online video meetings. See, Douglas used to say, if you don't have friends, make them. Well, I mean, there are a lot of people around who are enjoying this, and these online video meetings are 5 a week, free. All you need is an internet connection. So the party is on. The party is swinging. So don't stand outside. Come in. The one is one. But in a sense, we're also many, aren't we? I accept that you're there and I'm here, yet there's one consciousness. And the growing up is the one forgetting that you're the one and becoming a person, and therefore forgetting others are the one, so to speak, and then reawakening to being the one that is also got this feeling of many. And I think the one loves having many because it gets to talk to itself about itself, you see. So, yes, it can be lonely. I don't, but there's a lot of support and friendship around if you want to be part of it. Tony, I am not, instead I am. Well, a good way of putting it, you see. You're certainly not asking me if that's right. I know, because you're the answer, really. All right. Someone asked me, actually, I don't know if you're there, I've forgotten your name, but asked me by email to answer this question. Is there anything beyond the void? How can I be sure this is the absolute? There can be, one thing can be beyond another thing, but who you are is in a league of your own. And so I think just rest in the experience. But it's a good question, you see, and means you're questioning. Good. Thanks for the invitation to the party. I think it takes repeated encounter and community. There's nothing like sharing it. You don't need to share it. You are the one. You can't do it wrong. You're seeing who you are perfectly now. You can't half see your no face. You can't see it a bit blurry one day and clearer the next. It's just impossible. It's not that kind of thing. The view out is clearer one day than the next. Always changing. But the view in is just not a thing. Doesn't get blurry. So you do it perfectly. I think it's one of the therapeutic things about it, you see. Now you're not dependent on understanding. If it was a matter of understanding, you'd feel you'd be having a peak experience, and then you'd lose it. And you can't maintain understanding. It changes. If it was a matter of understanding, but it's not. Non-verbal. See, my hands disappear into the nothing there. You're wide open. If I haven't answered your question, ask again. Is there anything else out there producing this view? I think the one, at the deepest level, the one is saying, how amazing I am, you see? I am. Did anyone else manage it too? Funny question. Who do we mistakenly think we are? Who am I not? And who am I really? You see, I think when you grow up, you're the one becoming identified with the one in the mirror. See? And you become identified with that appearance. And this is just fantastic that you do that. You become aware that you've got an appearance, that you're somebody in the world. Well, for a time, you forget who you are, you see, and you get drawn into that story. But you never lose who you are. You just get drawn into that story. Now you're seeing that you're not that one. But you now, act as that one. I'm acting as Richard. That's great, you see. I mean, sort of, but I'm seeing who I really am, which is room for you, room for everything. You've got invisible arms around the whole universe. See, attention now. You only do it now. Attention now. Can't do it wrong. I'm looking at the questions here. I ran a 100-mile foot race 3 weeks ago. I think it's on topic. And realization and practice of distance moving through me, yes. And not me, yes, that's right. This is another experiment. I mean, you haven't done the experiments, what planet are you on, really? But the turning one, see, it's on the website or on the YouTube channel, you can see these things. But you point and turn around. Well, everyone sees you turning around and the room doesn't move. But you do it, see, and I'm not moving and the room is going past. From the outside you move, from the inside you never moved an inch in your whole life. I mean, you've been indoctrinated every day of your life, every minute really, that you are what you look like and you're moving through the world. All right, you've learned that one. You've got that one going, good. Now reawaken to your private point of view where you don't move and everything flows through you. I mean, how restful your true nature is. And it's fun, like Eric was saying, it's fun, it's true, it's relaxing, it's energizing, it's true. It's true. Someone else, Tony, through development, I came to believe I'm a tiny part of this whole. Yes. But I'm really the whole thing. Yes. I'm the space in which the whole cosmos exists. You are both, you see. Yes. When you wake up to who you are, you don't have to get rid of identifying with the one in the mirror. I mean, you never will. So you might, recognize that even if you'd like to, you can't. But I mean, why would you want to? It doesn't get in the way of seeing who you are. So you are both. Privately, I'm the one. Publicly, I'm Richard. Enjoy being both. There's nothing gone wrong, really. So you don't have to choose between the one in the mirror and who you are. You place it. My appearance is there on the screen and there in the mirror and here at this distance. See, I place it. I'm free of it here. It's somewhere out there in that region. Further out, I've got a planetary body, and even further, I've got a solar body. See, and then I've got a cellular body, but here at the center. So it's not an either or. You're both. You're the one expressing yourself as Tony or whoever. All right, here we go. We've got a quarter of an hour left. So I had some surgery to my face, which has changed the way I look. It has been very hard to find myself since. This has been painful. It's not so much vanity as much as not finding myself. Headless Way is helping. Yes. I mean, my heart goes out to you. And I know that this helps me with my appearance. We're all different, things happening to us. But I mean, to live a human life is to suffer misfortune as well as fortune. I mean, in the end you die, But I mean, at least my life is full of things not going according to the way I want. I'm not equating this with what you're just saying about the surgery. I'm just saying that at a very deep level, to be a human being is to be limited and to not be in control. Now, what's the therapy? What's the healing? Well, do what you can, have surgery when you need it, and, take action where you can, but don't overlook this treasure here, which is a rock. It's a rock. It's stable. It's reliable. It's safe. it is just ceaselessly creative. See, now why would you want to not have that in your toolkit for living? See, why would you want to overlook and not live from this openness that's so kind of smart? See, well, it's who knows why, but I mean, I don't want to. It's just such a fantastic life, to live from this, full of difficulties, of course, and adventure. Thank you. I appreciate you asking that question. And Lila, when the one in the mirror dies, does she disappear into the bigger self? Unfortunately, I won't be able to tell you. Well, I mean, the little ones already, you see who you are. You see your little self is not here, it's there. It's already disappeared into the big self, hasn't it? I mean, it's already merged, it's not separate. It's already merging. My picture on the screen and in the mirror is merged into the rest of the world. It's like saying, if you lose a finger, what will happen to your hand? But who you really are was never born and will never die, but you as a person will. And there's in a manner of speaking, who knows what happens when this body dies? That's the point. You don't know. It's an adventure. Live now, you see. Great adventure. But you see, when you see this, does that help you with the fear of dying, fear of loss, fear of failure? See, I think as I grow older, then I realize, doing my best I can, achieving what I can, but it's extremely limited what you can do, isn't it? Well, I think it directs my attention back to who I am, you see, to what I am now, which is huge, success as who you really are, being safe. Yeah. So death is just, anyone who tells you at that level that they know what happens after they die, I think is spoiling the great adventure of not knowing. I'm just probably burbling on now. All right, John, it's funny how we look. I grew a beard. And people surprised when people mention it. Yes. He found out I do very often live from an imagined version. Yes. It's not even a match to who I am in the mirror. Yes. I mean, how do you know what you look like at this moment? I mean, your memory could be faulty. See, I can see it in the mirror. Well, your eyes might be faulty. You kind of take on trust. Your idea of who you are is out of date, but your appearance, but who you really are is up to date now. I am up to date. I am present now as who I am. See? So again, just being aware of the place you're looking out of, very simple, silent, and that you are a single eye that fades out into nothing all the way around. And everything, that you can't miss, see. What's coming up in it is changing. All your body sensations now are not in a box separate, they're merged. Mine are merged with the scene. So if you would like to join us in a video meeting, go to the website, you see information about it on the home page. Lots of information there and on YouTube. And, hang out a bit with others. It's very infectious. If you want, see, if you want. All right. I've got another question here. Seems that who we are is more a verb than a noun. Yes. Yes, you see, that's where you see, just play with language. Play with language. And because you've got the experience, you say, well, today it's a verb and yesterday it was a noun. Lila, thanks so much. This is wonderful. You see, I mean, I have to say that the Headless Way makes it very accessible. You can't see your head. You see your single eye. You're looking out of it now. You've got the view, which is unique to you. And what is there difficult to get about that? You say, well, I don't feel better. All right, today you don't. That is a different question from, is it true? So go for the truth. It's the truth that will make you free. Go for the truth. What are you now? Have you got a head above your shoulders here, or is it no head? See? Live from that. And this is, Douglas Harding had a great phrase for it, said this is the joy that has no shadow. Because everything in the world casts a shadow. So you shine a light on it, casts a shadow because it's got a background. But there's one thing in the whole universe that does not cast a shadow. When you look at the whole view, you see, the whole view, there's no background. You're shedding the light of awareness on the view. I'm not just talking about what you see, hear and feel and think. But there's no background, it's consciousness. It casts no shadow. Your being, everything that happens in the world, in your life, casts a shadow in the sense that even if it's fantastic, it will end. It will end. So every joy ends, except for one joy, if you like, words, which is your being. See that? Doesn't come or go. Outside time. All right, a few more things. I'm just looking at the Q&A here. Will you post this webinar on YouTube? Might do. I do believe I'm recording it, and the internet has not gone down. What does this mean for acting in the world? It is the Shakespeare Festival, I don't think you mean that kind of acting. But there's a great quote from, Shakespeare, fantastic man. There is a man who had the skill with language and insight into people and the sense of drama and got it all together and wrote plays, right? And just, kind of page turners, thrillers. And here's a quote from him about acting. Man, proud man. Proud man, dressed in a little brief authority. Proud man, dressed in a little brief authority. Ignorant of what he's most assured. Ignorant of what is most assured. His glassy essence. Like an angry ape, plays such tricks before high heaven as make the angels weep. Right? Well, what this means is that when you live from who you really are, you see, you live from your center, and you're not living from a kind of game, really, in the same way. And it means that you're more involved in the world, in my experience, more active, more engaged, more passionate. It's not, everyone reacts differently, see, so it's not like there's a standard way. You know, see who you are, and you'll be more this or that. But you know, to grow up and become self-conscious is to separate yourself and get stiff and awkward and wonder what you're going to say. And then to lose your head is to reverse that process and become like a child again and be more spontaneous and less stiff and, you know, famous last words. All right. You mentioned 4 stages, the 4th being the seer. But Douglas suggested there were more beyond the seer stage. Well, first of all, you know, he might have or he might not, you know. So I appreciate asking about Douglas, but you're the authority on you, right? So take with a pinch of salt what I say or Douglas or anyone. But you see, is there a 4th stage beyond the seer? See, seeing who you really are brings you back to this moment, here and now, right? I think, you see, probably the best way to answer that is check it out, find out, see if there is. See, I think these kinds of questions, when you see who you are and you keep seeing, and you start enjoying it and living from it and testing it, I find these kind of questions start to be, in a way, less important in a way. I mean, they are deeply important. I'm not putting them down. But, you know, you've got the non-verbal answer and you're at peace and at rest. And, you know, you can ponder on these things. But you know that there's not going to be kind of an answer in words, really. And Bill, you know, you've probably got the best answer there, better than me. I must say, Johnny, that feeling at center as a thing is something that continues, even with glimpses of this space. Yes, well, that's right, you see. Now, the feeling of being a thing at center does not actually harm the space, does it? So it's okay to feel like you're a thing, because you're space for that. It's very important to feel that you're a thing. You know, you take responsibility for yourself in the world. Recognize you are a person for others. You know, to go around saying you're not a person is to kind of get, you know, it'd be rather difficult to live with. So this feeling of, I think maybe we've all got to go through it, because some spirituality seems to indicate that you've got to get rid of yourself in order to be God. And I tried it and I couldn't do it. So then I had to say to myself, well, all right, I've tried it. I can't get rid of myself, but I know I'm seeing who I am all the time, right? So maybe I don't have to. Suddenly I realized I don't. I am deeply identified with being Richard, and I am the space, and both go together. And that feeling of Richard comes very close, but the truth is it does not come to the center. And you find that out not by feeling, but by looking. All right, well, we're nearly at the end of the hour. And I'm sorry you couldn't get a word in. Well, you have. You've asked questions. And so again, I think I might do more of these and might bring other people in, see how it goes. I'll let people know. It is an opportunity to be aware of who you are, and you know, as much as possible to have conversation in a way in the one, many voices in one consciousness, to affirm, to celebrate, to declare publicly who we really are. You know, both the human and this. Fantastic. So this is just fantastic modern map of you. See, many leveled with you your true self, the reality behind all these appearances. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing any of you who would like to drop in. Very friendly group of people in the ongoing meetings, changing, new people coming in and dropping in all the time. And there's 5 or 6 a week, and just being friends. So go to the website, enjoy being who you are. And I'm going to sign out now, and lots of love to you all. Bye-bye.